What's going on, guys? Shoe video by your popular request. And I only have 10 minutes here, so I'm going to speak as fast as possible. Now, this is just a handful of shoes that I wear, the ones I love for training, walking around in, and then some of the ones that are rare and maybe sentimental to me specifically. Now, over the years, I've had a relationship with shoe companies. I was with Reebok exclusively for about 7 years, so a bulk of my collection is from there. We've done a lot of stuff with Under Armour and Nike as well, so I'll share with you some of those things along the way. My whole collection is probably still about 200 pairs of shoes. I've given away about 100 pairs a year ago, so 99% of what you see was given to me. I'm way too fiscally responsible to buy shoes, or as my wife would call it, cheap. So if I'm not wearing athletic shoes, I will grab a pair of Toms here or there. My homies call these boat shoes, which I actually think are super comfortable. So I put them on when I'm walking around in my my daily life here in Arizona when I'm trying to stay cool. From there, in terms of walking around training, I will say the Nobles, which I actually have a pair on my feet right now. The Nobles are cool. I wear them when I just coach people. I do like them for working out as well. They're bulletproof. I would say the Noble trainers are the only ones that I have worn, obviously, over the years, but I do think they're a good buy. If you guys want to check them out, they're great for squatting. If you want to jump rope in them or just walking around, they're comfortable. I travel in them quite a bit. If I'm going to go out and live a normal life, and you want to get into something, if I'm going to put jeans on, which is rare, but it happens. The Reebok Classics, these old school gum bottoms, are probably my favorite, with the old school Reebok Classic logo on everything. I do love these. Actually, if I'm going to put on something to be a little bit more normal, I do like the black Classics. Again, these are the old school with the legit logo in the shoe. Just a rare find, but again, if you guys got these are a dope pair of shoes. I think you can get the Classics now, actually on retro. Then we did a deal with Under Armour and Project Rock, so they sent me all of the Rocks shoe line, the classic black, and then these blue bad boys are super fresh too. They actually have like a shoe inside a shoe. You guys can tell all the detail on these, from the laces on down to everything else with the gold flecking. These are a dope pair of shoes. The ones I do like the most that they sent me, the blue for you guys is probably best with most of your wardrobe attire, but these orange bad boys they shot me are pretty sick. So I do love those as well. So again, great shoe to train in. I don't love them for back squatting just because the heel's a little bit bigger, but you guys could for sure. I just tend to go with the minimalist type shoe or barefoot. Another pair that's super, super important to me here is these green TR Reeboks, which is very, very rare. If you see somebody with a pair of these, we probably know each other. Reebok actually sent us to an event in Palm Springs years ago, and they gave each one of us at the event a pair of these. Everybody on the athlete team got to rock these. So I've worn them a couple times for videos and projects, but these are sentimentally important to me, and they're a great shoe to train in. Now, in terms of what I do, I love Reebok Nanos. By far my favorite training shoe. I've said that for over a decade. All different kinds. I don't love every version, but I love most of them. Now, the Reebok Sixes, the red, white, and blue version, I've worn these a ton. They're super fresh. These are a great shoe. Obviously, you can tell they're a little bit funky. The Reebok Sevens, the Nano weaves, I do think are one of the better looking shoes. Again, I like these as well. Great to train in, great to squat in. The Reebok Nano 8s, the weaves, awesome for walking around in, also awesome for training in. And again, kind of that same classic gum bottom, which I do think is super cool. Anybody who's a lifter, you got to have a pair of lifters. So these are the Reebok Lifters. I think one of the older versions. Again, I haven't worn them a ton, but if you're going to back squat, I will say it does make a huge difference. Now, all time, the Reebok Nano 2s, probably my favorite all-time shoe, just the way of feel and the overall look. They had a gray and kind of whitish purple pair I used to love. I don't have anymore, so I'm holding on to these for dear life. Also like a rare pair of the JJ Watts that they had sent me, which I think are actually kind of a cool shoe as well. Now, in terms of rare Nanos, I'm talking like the graphic design version ones. These ones are hard to find. If you guys see these, hold on to them, unless they're planning on retroing them soon, but I haven't seen anybody else. They're very unique and very rare in terms of, you know, a training shoe. So again, I love to train them, but I do like how those look, kind of a unique, funky design. So much, in fact, my homie Andrew, what I would do is when they'd send me like 5, 6 pairs of shoes, I'd tell him to send me like 5 or 6 more. So Andrew, I appreciate you, brother. I still have a lot of these laying around the house. So I have a ton of stock of very fresh, clean ones that most people have never seen, or they have worn, but maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they haven't again. So these are a singular white pair with the graphic design, which is a super rare shoe. Now, in terms of the most durable training shoe I've ever wore, the Reebok. Oh, not these ones. These are the all whites. These are super fresh. I didn't even know I had these still. So the all whites, again, I do love how the way that these look. Again, the sticker's still on them. You could lick the bottoms with that clean, never been worn. I do love those as a shoe too. I think these are the there they are, the Nano 4s. So again, these are built, you know, almost like they're bulletproof. These ones, I've actually hiked the Grand Canyon, not this exact pair, these have never been worn, but rim to rim to rim of the Grand Canyon in these. Again, they built them for the CrossFitters, but I think any of you guys, you can coach in them, you can lift in them, you can do all of your HIIT stuff or the Metcons with these shoes. And again, they're gonna last you, most of you guys, many, many, many years. You can beat the hell out of them. I do think they're fresh. I still think I have about probably 4 or 5 white pairs of these. So, into the rarest stuff. If you guys are shoe heads, these old school G units from Reebok are the originals. These are about 15 years old. Again, the white, the red, white, and blue. Anybody, the RBK versions from way back in the day. I've worn these a couple times, but again, I've had these for shit, almost 2 decades, and I've kept them as clean as possible. So I just thought they were a unique pair of shoe, and I wanted to hold on to them. I think I still have a pair of the Sean Carter's, the Jay-Z versions as well, somewhere. And for you guys who are Jordan fans, I probably still have 10 pairs of Jordans. Not nearly as many as I want or as I used to have, but I'm getting older and being more responsible with things. But these are a fun pair. Just the Jordan Runs. You guys have seen these. It's kind of like their leisure brand. You can walk around them, and they still have all the same swag as like the Jordan 3s would, but they just are very unique and different. A little bit lower profile. They're nice. It's part of their, you know, kind of running package that they make, but they're pretty cool. I don't think I'd ever run in them. I'm not a huge runner, but they are a fresh shoe. And again, if you love Jordans like I do, they do the trick. Next on the list, the original box too, I think. The Jordan 4s. Again, anybody who knows the old school Nike logo with the Air system, and it's the old school Jordan shoe. If you guys are Jordan heads, I think the 3s are probably my favorite. I do love the Space Jams too, and also the 11s. Now, this pair is rare for a lot of you guys. The 20-year edition, 85 to 2005, so it's 15 years old at this point. I have wore these shoes many times, kept them as clean as I possibly could. Now, they're unique in the fact of they came with a special bag in them, but, and they're a little bit funky, right? Like how they look with the design, but the backs, though. If you're a Jordan fan and that Last Dance is coming out Sunday, man, you can't, you know, love these shoes enough. Just very unique, very different, and I try to keep them as clean as I can over the past 15 years.
8 minutes.
2 minutes to go. And then the last pair. Oh, I have 2 pairs of shoes to go. Actually, let's do this. My last pair of Jordans. Now, these are special to me. You're like, Jeremy, these shoes are super beat up. Well, they are super beat up. I wore these in college to play, and I kept them and have never let them go since then. Now, they're pretty beat up at this point. I don't think they go for a ton on the resale market, but man, if you guys, I love the Space Jam, I love the B-Reds, I love the 11s, I just love how they felt in terms of if you're going to go play sports. If I could get these like cheap enough, I would train them every day because I do think they're a great looking shoe and I like how they feel. So, but again, I wore these to play college, and I've kept them ever since, and I probably never let them go. They'll bury them with me at this point. That's how much they mean to me. And then the last pair of shoes here, we're going to go through. Did we talk about the Susan G's? No.
No.
So real quick, the Susan G Komen, for obviously breast cancer, they made a pair of Nanos for these, which we fully support, if you guys can tell by my shirt. We donated these last year to breast cancer awareness. All the money went to those guys. We funded their campaign. And Reebok was cool enough to hop on board and make some shoes to match, which I think are super cool. And I'll always keep these pair too. I wear them maybe like once or twice a year, if that.
30 seconds.
And then the last pair, just to give you my custom Jeremy Scott's, the purple and gold Minnesota Vikings versions of Nanos, probably my most prized sentimental shoe that Reebok had hooked up for me. So I have these. They mean a lot. I beat the hell out of them, even with the pink inside, and I'll never let them go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, my quick shoe tour. I couldn't show you everything, but if you have questions or a shoe collection of your own, comment or tag me below. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.